There's no words that can describe what we're digging up and pulling out there in the grave sites and everything. It's just, beyond describing.
A link between real-life violence and Hollywood's brand of fantasy. The movie The Believers was standard fare for the members of a satanic cult whose deadly work is dominating the headlines. Our inside story for the fourth weekend of April, 1989.
Everybody, thanks for joining us for Entertainment This Week. Once again, I'm Leeza Gibbons.
And I'm Robb Weller. Nice having you with us. Well, the grisly details have been unfolding under the hot Mexican sun throughout the week. A tale of a murderous satanic cult, which now has a Hollywood connection. The images from Mexico on the evening news have been grisly indeed. At last count, a total of 15 bodies have been uncovered, many showing signs of unspeakable torture. And equally as shocking, remnants of bizarre cult worship, including animal sacrifice, attached to the murders.
There's no words that can describe what we're digging up and pulling out there in the grave sites and everything. It was just, beyond describing.
Yet an odder twist still. From interviews with cult members, they said they used a kind of training film for their voodoo worship, a Hollywood movie.
The first boy we talked to at the scene told us that they were practicing what they had seen in the movie The Believers. That they were told to watch The Believers, that they watched The Believers about 5 or 6 times.
The Believers, starring Martin Sheen, Robert Loggia, and Jimmy Smits, was released in 1987 by Orion Pictures. It tells a terrifying tale of human sacrifice by members of a branch of the Santeria voodoo cult. Authorities investigating the killings in Mexico say cult members were led to the movie by suspected cult leaders Adolfo Costanzo and Sarah Aldrete.
Sarah was the one that was telling them that they needed to get a feel for what they were doing. They needed to watch the movie The Believers.
This book provided the source material for the movie The Believers. Its author, who declined to show his face, disputes the notion that a book or a movie could have caused the events in Mexico.
I do not believe that reading something like this or that seeing this movie could make people who are obviously demented and into drugs perform an act of this kind.
And authorities on the case in Mexico agree.
The way these people were operating, I think, with or without the movie, they would have done the same thing.
Alawana baba mimulo, eshu elegua. Alawana baba mimulo.
Yet the reported connection between The Believers and the Mexico cult killings has had one notable effect: increased demand for the movie at a neighborhood video store near the Mexican border.
I don't know what connection the film has with the event, but there's been a lot of requests for it.
Do you believe?
Ibedala.
Yes, I do believe.
Authorities think the cult was responsible for smuggling 1 ton of marijuana per week across the border. They also speculate that Aldrete, the woman who authorities say recruited members with the movie The Believers, has been murdered.
When it comes to murder, nothing compares to the Nazi atrocities of World War II. This weekend, HBO begins airing a movie about a man with a lifelong obsession to bring those war criminals to justice.
Murderers Among Us, the Simon Wiesenthal story, is a vivid and troubling vision of the Holocaust as seen through the eyes of Wiesenthal. Ben Kingsley plays the man whose detailed drawings of atrocities led to the convictions of Nazi war criminals.
Only days ago he'd have had me beaten half to death for looking at him like this. If I touched him, I'd have been shot.
Simon, it's over.
The intention is to show a sense, a driven man, driven by his memory and by his sense of justice.
Filmed in Hungary, the authentic-looking concentration camp brought back painful memories to the real Simon Wiesenthal when he visited the set.
That's not a decoration, that looks real.
And Kingsley felt the same chill while filming realistic scenes of Nazi atrocities.
For an actor to be naked and very vulnerable in that situation, you participate a bit in the story. You learn something about how they must have felt.
We must never forget, or it will happen again. That's all.
The 80-year-old Wiesenthal says he chose to have the movie made now while he's still alive so that he could exercise some control over the story, and went ahead with the plans when his good friend Elizabeth Taylor vouched for the honesty of the filmmakers.
Well, stay with us. We'll switch gears and give you the week's lighthearted entertainment when we continue. Coming up next, an exclusive preview of Loverboy and an interview with its star, Loverboy Patrick Dempsey.
And later, horrific details from Stephen King and an inside look at his new movie, Pet Sematary.
You know, you can change your life. It just takes a dream and the courage to make it happen. Becoming a blonde was an easy dream come true. And suddenly I felt beautiful. Today I choose Ultress, the most luxurious hair color Clairol has ever made. Only Ultress is a gel colorant. What a difference. And the color? Gorgeous. Live your dream. Be a beautiful brunette, fabulous blonde, or radiant redhead. Be the best you've ever been with Ultress gel colorant.
I'm talking cookout. I'm talking some kind of loose, rich cookout. Pile it on, Henry. On the bun, hun. And everybody's having a ton of fun.
Lewis Rich cold cuts and hot dogs. The people you love them. Made from Lewis Rich turkey, so they're up to 98% fat-free.
Talking about a Lewis Rich cookout. Pass the coleslaw. Everybody loves every bite. That's more like it, Henry. Lewis Rich turkey, the turkey worth talking about. Yeah.
They've made Tylenol even better.
Gel caps are concentrated power.
They're solid, and they go down easier than capsules.
Tylenol Gel Caps are smaller than capsules, with extra-strength pain relief concentrated into a solid center under a smooth gelatin coating, so they're strong and easy to swallow.
Fantastic. Just fantastic.
Gel caps. Tylenol Gel Caps.
Powerful pain medicine.
Extra-strength Tylenol Gel Caps. It's not a capsule. It's better.
Only Nestea iced tea cools you off like this.
Take the Nestea plunge.
Available and naturally decaffeinated.
Movies coming to theaters this week, the James Belushi action comedy Canine. Also Loverboy, starring Patrick Dempsey opposite a bevy of Hollywood beauties.
The smartest scientists in the world don't understand a billionth of what's going on out there. So why should I feel so stupid because I don't understand women?
Patrick Dempsey plays Randy Bodek, who begins to understand women when he starts making pizza deliveries to some gorgeous ladies in Beverly Hills.
Senor Pizza! Hi. Hi.
Now word about Randy is spreading.
And don't forget to order extra anchovies.
One pizza with extra anchovies is for Kirstie Alley, who plays Beverly Hills Dr. Joyce Palmer.
Feels weird.
Didn't feel weird to me.
You sure?
No, you're great at this.
Oh.
This isn't what I imagined. I was angry and I wanted to get back at my husband. And I guess I kind of expected a sort of wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. But you're not like that at all.
No.
Randy's buddy, played by Bernie Colson, is impressed with his friend's adventures.
Who knows? Right now, your name and your number could be on every wall of every ladies' room from Chinois to the Dome, man. You could be the love doctor of Beverly Hills.
Loverboy also takes pizza to Carrie Fisher, who plays a photographer married to a unique guy.
He's a bodybuilder. Mr. California, Olympian 84.
Oh. So, does he still look like that?
No, he's much bigger now.
Not only is he big, but actor Peter Koch plays a guy with a temper.
Hey!
Diet Coke.
You've been messing with my wife.
Loverboy carries a PG-13 rating.
Well, Patrick Dempsey has been carefully guiding his career toward stardom. And now that it's taking off, he's concerned about keeping his feet on the ground.
My lip is caught in the zipper.
What?
My lip is caught in the zipper.
In Loverboy, Patrick Dempsey plays a young man with a lot to learn about the fine art of romance.
What kind of a professional lover are you?
I was really learning about romance for the first time, you know? It's like romance in the sense of romance. It's like dancing and wine and flowers and interesting conversations and things like that.
Dempsey's teachers in this romantic comedy include Barbara Carrera, Carrie Fisher, and Kirstie Alley, all older women.
They're a lot more centered with themselves, and it makes you feel comfortable, you know? And you don't have to be cool or suave around them because they can see through you, you know? And it really relaxes you and makes you feel comfortable.
Dempsey is no stranger to films about relationships between younger men and older women. That was also the theme of 1987's In the Mood. And in a case of life imitating art, the 23-year-old actor recently married his manager, Rocky Parker, who is some 30 years older than he.
I don't believe this.
The busy young actor can also be seen these days in Some Girls. In it, he plays a character who goes to spend Christmas with an old girlfriend, only to discover that she no longer loves him.
I'm so horrible to you sometimes.
No, you're not. You see a lot of young actors who do one great film and then their egos go crazy. And that's the one thing that it scares me, you know. Is my ego going to take over after these films come out?
Dempsey says he likes to keep busy because that way no one film role becomes too important.
I really enjoyed the work process of a film. You know, it's a lot of fun. And I've been doing so many, you don't take it so seriously in the sense of like, oh my God, I got to do great on this film.
Both Some Girls and Loverboy are comedies. But in the latter, Dempsey gets to show his talents as a dancer with co-star Kirstie Alley.
I'm not saying this is the greatest film ever made. I'm just saying that we have certain elements of the old-time movies that are in this. And to be able to dance with Kirstie, it was a real magical moment where, you know, God taps his finger on you. And I got to go dance now, I guess. How did you get my number?
Oh, at my salon. Why?
You're so... I'm sorry.
And young hot star that he is, Dempsey is wasting no time pressing on. He starts filming Coupe de Ville on May 1st.
Lou Diamond Phillips is another hot young leading man who exploded onto the big screen and is back in theaters as a member of a bumbling group of thieves in disorganized crime.
These guys are like the least wanted. You know, there's a list of 100 most wanted, and these guys are trying really hard to make that list, but they're not quite on it.
In Disorganized Crime, Lou Diamond Phillips plays a young California kid robbing banks in Montana. It marks Phillips' first foray into comedy, something he's been looking forward to.
They get a certain, I don't know, image of you, you know, as the serious, brooding, dark young man kind of thing. And when Disorganized Crime came along, I said, oh, you know, thank God, a chance to lighten up.
Nick's taking the car!
After being discovered by talent agents for the role of Richie Valens in La Bamba, Phillips starred with Edward James Olmos in Stand and Deliver. He followed these lead acting roles with other big names in both Young Guns and now Disorganized Crime.
Stop the truck!
Ensemble acting is not a showcase for one person. It's like, you know, ping pong balls in a room or something like that. You're all just going ding, 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 you know, and you know that you're going to be able to bounce off of each other as well, and that when you do bounce off each other, the direction you go in might be very interesting. It might be total bleh, but it might be very interesting.
But as the youngest member of the ensemble, Lou found one disadvantage.
Fred Gwynn would never let me sit at the poker table. I had to sit on an apple box at the end. He told me when I was 64, I could make the kids sit at, sit in the apple box. But it was, it was an experience in humility, I think.
Well, our exclusive movie track survey of disorganized crime could be another lesson in humility for young Mr. Phillips. Half the moviegoers loved it, half hated it, and there were many complaints about excessive foul language.
Now, when we return, no complaints from Jill Ireland over the success of her writing career as she turns her battle with cancer into a positive experience.
Hello, I'm Wilma Smith.
And I'm Roy Weisinger. Coming up all this week on Eyewitness News Live on 5, James Woods and Jo Beth Williams join us to talk about their latest TV movie called My Name is Bill W.
Actress Nanette Febvre will be here live, and then we'll talk with comedian Richard Pryor about his brand new big screen movie with Gene Wilder.
Actress Jill Ireland joins us with word on her latest battle against cancer, and Sarah Brady, wife of Reagan Press Secretary James Brady, will be here live.
Plus the first look at each day's news, the weather picture and traffic.
All this week at 5.
Hello, I'm Lee Gibson. My new mark is the 15th car I bought from Hal Artz. I've depended on Hal Artz for over 30 years.
Hi, I'm Gloria Mays, and this is my daughter, Sandra. I'm buying my first car from Hal Artz. Just like I did 23 years ago. You know, back when Hal had black hair.
Hi, I'm Pam Freeman. For $39.90, I got a beautiful little car and a beautiful dealership.
Hello, I'm Hal Artz. Come see why we've been in business for 38 years. Thank you.
You know, for years, women have been told to give in to the rapist. But is that really the best advice? On the next Oprah Winfrey Show, a new look at old advice about rape. Could fighting back be the better way to deal with a rapist? Women who fought back tell why they did it and how they did it. Rape, how not to be helpless anymore. On the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Monday at 4.
Living Rooms Unlimited at Brook Park and Pearl, where your dollar goes farther. You can have the whole room full for the price of the sofa alone. Quilted velvet traditional sofa, love seat, chair, Queen Anne tables, and lamps. 6 pieces, only $7.99. Contemporary oak 5-piece set, only $5.99. Exciting 6-piece camelback group, only $6.99 complete. At Living Rooms Unlimited, Brook Park and Pearl off 480 between State and Ridge. The biggest little living room store in Ohio.
Actress Jill Ireland is locked in a battle to beat cancer. But through it all, she's refused to succumb to being sick. Instead, work is her medicine. She's written 2 books and has a 3rd in the works, along with other projects. She did take a break, though, for a party in her honor, and Gene Wolfe reports.
A gravely ill Jill Ireland gathered with celebrity friends to celebrate the release of her 2nd book. Her first book, Life Wish, dealt with her battle with cancer. This one, Lifelines, details the drug problems of her son Jason, her marriage to Charles Bronson, and her relationship with her ill father.
With Jill, it seems to be that she wants everybody to benefit from her experience. You know, somebody else has suffered through this, and I think that's the reason she writes the books.
Jill has more courage and more stamina and more energy than any woman I know, and she's wonderful.
Jill is determined to get well and to encourage people to read the book she worked so hard on. While her friends are deeply concerned about her, this spunky woman wants to make sure her book isn't overshadowed by her illness. Obviously, the first question I'm going to ask you is what's on everybody's mind. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty well under the circumstances. I've had my first course of chemotherapy, and tomorrow I'm going back to Dallas to have another course. I'm doing all right.
Jill admits feeling all right is greatly due to writing candidly about the trauma in her life, her war on cancer, and her son's battle with drugs.
I wrote it, a lot of it in pain, and while he was in pain. And we wrote our way out of it, out the other end, where we both feel pretty good. Yeah. So if it can help other people, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's what I say.
I'm proud of him.
I'm proud of you.
Oh.
The book is going to be released next week, and Ireland is making a TV movie based on her book, Lifelines. In addition, her company will co-produce the film, and she plans to play herself in it.
It reads like a movie script. A director has a great idea for a film, but doesn't have the money. His older brother comes to the rescue. The movie is made and fade to a happy ending. The Keach brothers, James and Stacy, followed that script, and you can see the result on the screen.
1, 2,
The Forgotten, starring Keith Carradine, Steve Railsback, and Stacy Keach, among others, is about 6 American POWs suddenly released from captivity in Vietnam 17 years after their capture, only to be treated as prisoners by their own government due to the sensitive nature of their mission when captured. Stacy Keach plays their American intelligence interrogator.
About your wife. Did you know that she was a known prostitute and a heroin addict? This is she, isn't it?
I play the bad guy in this. I play Alan Robb, who is the National Security Council interrogator who questions these men and who we find out is in cahoots with other factions of other governments.
James Keach co-wrote the film with Keith Carradine, who served as an executive producer. It represents James's long-awaited directorial debut, and it's the latest in a long history of collaboration by the brothers Keach.
My brother and I have worked together for many years. We started as actors working in the Wright brothers together, actually, and then we decided we wanted to do a film about the Wrong brothers, the Frank and Jesse James, so we did that. We produced that together and wrote that together. And then I directed him in 6 Characters in Search of an Author for public television. And he got his revenge by directing me in The Forgotten.
I sensed a great deal of pride from him when we were working, and I felt that for him. But my pride is because he's an ultimate professional.
I can assure you we're going to do our best to expedite these proceedings and get you home just as quickly as possible.
Based on a true story told to James by a friend, the film was made on a very tight budget. It was truly a labor of love.
I got Keith to take half of his acting fee and my brother to do the same thing. And it just started going down the line because everybody loved the script. Everybody knew that the parts would be great, and everybody wanted to be there for me.
I must say I'm very proud of him. He did a wonderful job.
The Forgotten will premiere on the USA Cable Network Wednesday.
Bruce Boxleitner had 3 stabs at series television before he hit it big with Scarecrow and Mrs. King. The lesson he learned from the past is to keep trying. With that in mind, he's readying his next project. The Road Raiders, which airs Tuesday on CBS, will provide plenty of surprises, according to its star, Bruce Boxleitner.
It's a story about World War II, like it's never been seen before.
I have yet to encounter my superior in this military environment.
Look, Einstein, what do you get when you subtract 52 from 97?
45.
Me too.
I'll be damned.
I would describe it as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets MASH and becomes the A-Team. Now, if we haven't covered network television there...
Who's this guy? He looks familiar.
You must have seen me riding the 39 Derby.
Is that why they call you Whip?
No, they call me Whip, because I can whip any you-know-what in this man's army.
Boxleitner himself has covered a lot of television ground over the years, but believe it or not, he thought his career was over back in 1983 when his series Bring 'Em Back Alive was canceled after a brief run.
It's a very disheartening thing, and you think, you know, my gosh, they've given you this huge break. There's so many actors and actresses out there, and you've blown your break. This could have made you. But I thought, of course, for me, it was over. You know, I'll never work in this town again.
Then along came Scarecrow and Mrs. King, a ratings winner which ran for 4 years.
Whatever the roles I'm playing now kind of come from that character. People in the business know me as that, and the character in that was a bit of Cary Grant in North by Northwest.
Heroes cannot be unkempt.
I got to be suave once in a while and a bumbling idiot once in a while, so it was kind of fun.
Now Boxleitner hopes the Road Raiders will enjoy similar success as a continuing series.
I said, is this a character I could get up and go to work and play every morning and enjoy it? You got to enjoy it. And I thought about it, and yes, I think there's a lot of possibilities for this type of thing.
Here's the key, sir. I keep them locked up till you get to Leavenworth.
Leavenworth? For what?
Forever.
Forever. Well, Boxleitner will also star in Till We Meet Again. That's the miniseries based on the Judith Krantz novel, and that's going to air in November. Forever.
Okay, forever. When we come back, one of Hollywood's most famous raconteurs remembered.
After spending all morning at the auction, I shared the afternoon with two new treasures, a fine bone china cup and the taste of rich Swiss mocha from General Foods International Coffees.
Celebrate the moments of your life.
I got dirty an awful lot when I was little. What am I doing here? You know this.
You're playing baseball.
Yeah, that's right. It came natural to get dirty. Johnson's baby shampoo has been great for my hair all through my life. It's strong. It makes my hair look clean. It makes my hair feel clean, and it's gentle. Look at this kid's hair. I think it looks good.
Johnson's baby shampoo, now also with conditioners for extra control.
I shower 4 or 5 times a day. It's never made me cry.
Johnson's for the life of your hair.
Stouffer's Lean Cuisine just cooked up the best part of the chicken 3 new ways. Tender, juicy breast of chicken in new chicken parmesan, new breast of chicken in herb cream sauce, and new chicken oriental. They're all under 300 calories. It's a whole new world of taste for this lean cuisine, ladies.
Stouffer's Lean Cuisine. You have good taste, and it shows. Stouffer's Lean Cuisine.
Strength can move mountains, but strength can't brush away tartar. For tartar, use your head instead and get Colgate Tartar Control. You see, while helping to brush away plaque, Colgate's been proven to help stop tartar from building up. So you don't need strength to fight tartar. You just need smarts to buy Colgate.
Colgate Tartar Control, the wise choice.
The Diet Colas are at it again, taking pot shots at each other in their commercials. Well, in the interest of good taste, Diet 7-Up will not condone this sort of violence on television. Lighten up. Diet 7-Up.
And once again, welcome back to Entertainment This Week. I'm Robb Weller.
And I'm Leeza Gibbons. Oscar Levant has been described as a neurotic, insomniac wit and self-declared genius. The magic he created lives on in his movies, recordings, and books. And as Leonard Maltin shows us, theater goers can now experience his magic on stage.
This is Oscar Levant as the public knew him best, sitting at the piano and tossing off a sardonic remark.
It's not a pretty face, I grant you. But underneath its flabby exterior is an enormous lack of character.
You can watch An American in Paris on video and see Oscar Levant playing a variation on himself, as he did in a number of movies of the 1940s and 50s. Longtime residents of Los Angeles may remember Levant from his popular and provocative talk show of the 1950s, only one episode of which survives in this poor-quality kinescope. The show enabled Levant to banter with guests from show business and public life, express his irreverent opinions, and exercise his lightning wit. He could be sweet with a friend like Fred Astaire, or pungent with the commercial spokesman who interrupted the show.
Crestview 4, 8822. You know that Christopher Isherwood is writing a poem with Crestview. What's the number? Well, I wrote a poem, too, for I don't want to hear your poem. I have no time. Mr. Isherwood, you'll pardon me. I'll discuss your poetic talents some remote time. After the show, I'll apologize.
Levant was irascible and unpredictable. His unscripted wisecracks got him into trouble more than once.
Oscar Levant died in 1972, but now he's got a second lease on life, you might say, through the means of a stage show called At Wit's End.
To star in a one-man show as Oscar Levant, you'd have to find someone equally at home at the piano and in the spotlight, recreating his comic persona. Pianist and performer Stan Freeman fits the bill perfectly and is unabashed in his admiration for the real Levant.
He was in many ways a Renaissance man, in that he composed serious music, he composed pop songs, he was a very good pianist, he was a movie actor. Whether he considered himself a movie actor or not is beside the point. He was, or he was in a lot of movies at any rate. He was a great wit, a quicksilver mind. There is a fine line between genius and insanity, and I have managed to erase that line.
Levant's acerbic personality was tempered by a battery of medical problems, including a long addiction to prescription drugs that began after a serious heart attack.
I'm a little overexcited. I'm going out to take a saliva test. I'll be right back.
I think his attitude, his funny attitude, his self-deprecating attitude, in the face of all that is probably what I find his most admirable trait. I think the very first time I ever met and embraced Judy Garland may well be the greatest moment in pharmaceutical history.
Drugs and attendant mental problems could never extinguish Levant's wit or his talent. And his partner through it all, even on the air, was his wife, June, who recalls that the talk show was the healthiest thing that happened to Oscar in his later years.
It was great for Oscar. It was wonderful for him. It was therapeutic for him. But it eventually got to him. It was, again, too much for him. And he became a little too outrageous. But that's what endeared him to people, because he could say what he thought.
Levant's close friendship with George Gershwin and lifelong love affair with his music is part of his legacy, brilliantly recreated by Stan Freeman. And the success of the show is a particular thrill for his widow.
Oscar can make people laugh and think and to be admired by people now after all those years. I love it.
And so do audiences. Leonard Maltin, Entertainment This Week.
I always remember watching him on the Jack Parr show at night.
Yeah, with all of his idiosyncrasies.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
At WEWS-TV, by the way, we'll be running in L.A. through May 14th. And plans are in the works to take the show on a national tour after that.
All righty. Well, matters of the heart are the recurrent theme in this week's Movies Out on Home Video. Kids, brothers, lovers, and teammates are all featured. We'll begin with baseball. In 1919, the Chicago White Sox were the heavy favorites to win the World Series. They didn't.
You say you can find 7 men on the best club that ever took the field with them to throw the World Series? I find that hard to believe. You never played for Charlie Comiskey.
8 Men Out features an ensemble cast in roles of the legendary players who threw the series in what became known as the Black Sox scandal, a scandal that threatened America's love for its national pastime. In Clara's Heart, Whoopi Goldberg ends up providing the love a little boy needs during his parents' pending divorce. But the Jamaican housekeeper didn't instantly win over the spoiled suburban kid.
You're not in charge of me, you know. I just want to make sure you know that right at the start.
That is obvious, so we move on to other things now.
You're a real jerk, you know that?
Well, if I'm a jerk, you're a bobo.
Dominic and Eugene is the story of the love that binds brothers. Tom Hulse plays Nicky, who is slow and fears separation from his twin, played by Ray Liotta.
You didn't even care about our birthday, Eugene. It only comes once a year. Nicky!
Molly Ringwald plays a naive country girl who sweeps big city college student, played by Andrew McCarthy, off his feet.
Jealousy is a base emotion.
So what?
It's contemptible. It's bad.
Also out on home video this week, Don Johnson's Sweetheart's Dance.
The woman behind a string of top 40 hits is out to make a name for herself. We'll show you how when we return.
Enjoy elegant, sleek, and casual recreational furniture from 5 Seasons, Ohio's leader in patio furniture. Choose from our large inventory or let us custom design a beautiful set for you. Experience the joy of indoor-outdoor leisure with furniture from 5 Seasons. Visit our showroom in the Town Center Plaza on Route 91 in Stowe-Hudson, minutes from I-480. Save 25 to 70% off list on all items. Buy now and save at 5 Seasons, Ohio's patio furniture specialist.
Bill Laimbeer of the Detroit Pistons talks about WZAK's Lynn Tolliver.
There's one thing I hate more than the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's Lynn Tolliver, the morning DJ at 93 FM WZAK. Just look at him and check out this music that he plays. Freddie Jackson, LeVert, Anita Baker. Come on, who would listen to 93 FM WZAK? Oh, I know, the same geeks who like the Cavs. Yeah, 93 FM WZAK, Lynn Tolliver in Cleveland. They're made for each other.
Come load up on savings now during Builders Square Garden Kickoff. Because when Builders Square buys from manufacturers, we buy big by the trainload. enough to guarantee our garden kickoff will lower prices on everything you need for your yard. It's going on now. Builder Square Garden Kickoff. It's gonna go fast.
For more than a year, he has been the most controversial man in America, former Marine Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, accused of masterminding an astonishing plot that embarrassed a presidency, yet hailed by his president as an American hero. Now, the Front Row Theater presents your opportunity to hear Oliver North's story in his own words and to ask the questions in yours. Oliver North, coming to the Front Row Theater Wednesday, April 26th. Call 449-5000 for ticket information.
Carla Bonoff is a singer and songwriter whose name is a household word, but mainly in the households of other singers and songwriters. Bonoff has written hits for those other singers, Linda Ronstadt among them. Now she has a new album and hopes to make a name for herself.
Is somebody waiting alone in the street for someone to walk up and greet?
Music insiders call her one of the finest singer-songwriters around. Performing since the late 60s, Carla Bonoff ballads have garnered a loyal following and the respect of other performers, like Linda Ronstadt, for whom Bonoff has penned many a hit. Now, after a 6-year absence from the record stores, Bonoff has a new album.
It just was amazing to me how many fans I had out there that just kept saying, why don't you make another record? We want another record from you. And there seemed to be so much demand for it that it really made me feel like I really should go back and make a record.
The new world waits inside your dream.
Known primarily as a songwriter in the early days, Bonoff had to build her following, and in the beginning, it was frustrating.
As a writer, you never realize that most people don't pay attention to who writes songs. You know, I would do those songs that Linda had recorded, and I think it dawned on me all of a sudden that people thought I was doing some songs I'd learned off her record, you know, and I went, gosh, I'm going to have to explain to these people that I wrote these songs.
But Ronstadt is still in the picture for Bonoff, this time appearing in the video from Bonoff's new album.
We did a show in Los Angeles that was with a lot of different songwriters, and Linda was on the show, and I asked her, since she was going to be there, if she would, you know, come and sing on one of my songs. And, you know, as she always is so gracious, she said yes.
For Bonoff, the joy of introducing new songs to her loyal fans and to new audiences is the key thing that got her back into the recording studio. And she hopes next time she won't be away for so long.
I can't say goodbye.
I'm just so glad to be back and making records and out performing. And, you know, when I think of the future, I just hope I can continue to keep doing that, you know.
Carla Bonoff is gearing up for a U.S. tour, which will run through the summer. First stop, May 18th in Orlando, Florida. And Linda Ronstadt will record some new Carla Bonoff tunes on her next album.
Now, if the name of your band was Cowboy Junkies and the music you played was cool, what would you do to hit the big time? Up here in New York City in the midst of a sweltering summer. Worked like a charm.
I was walking after midnight, searching for you.
Old favorites like Patsy Cline's Walking After Midnight are injected with the new hypnotic sound of the Cowboy Junkies, one of the most critically acclaimed bands of the year. This group depends on the simplicity of its sound for success.
The only thing that we continue to do that's consistent so far is to really listen to our music, and if it makes sense to us, if it pleases us and we think this is good, then that's what we record.
The Junkies' latest album, The Trinity Session, is a mixture of remakes and original songs recorded live in a Canadian church.
We were 9 people sitting in a church alone, and there was nothing to distract us, nothing to disturb us, and the only thing that we had in common was the music.
We never really head towards anything deliberately. We let the music just develop as it wants to develop. We just keep ourselves open to whatever sort of enters our imagination and go with it. We don't rule out anything, really. Anything can go.
Sweet dream. Oh, sweet, sweet
And with the Cowboy Junkies, anything does go as far as music influences are concerned. Their latest release is a melancholy rendition of Lou Reed's classic Sweet Jane. So even though the name of the group sounds country, band members say their music has no classification.
When we started, we were really blues-based, and we had no intention of the name having any sort of labeling the music at all. It was totally just two words which we put together, and we liked the way they fit.
To sort of say that it is country or that it's blues, it would be false. It's not neither one or the other, or it's not rock and roll. It's just a combination of a whole bunch of different types of music that we like and that come out through our music.
Cowboy Junkies will have a new tune out next month, Misguided Angel, and they're all set for another big performance in New York, May 5th.
Well, they fixed us up with a K-Tel knitter and a miracle brush, so what can they do for us next? Maybe sign us up to a recording contract.
All these golfers have the same problem. No swing. The swing's the thing. And the way to develop it is with the K-Tel Golf King.
New from K-Tel, Fishin' Magician, a multi-purpose fisherman's aid. 7 tools in one. K-Tel Knitter, a new method designed to knit and crochet using one needle.
The ads everyone loved to hate in the 70s have long been TV history. After 27 years, K-Tel, the force behind the K-Tel Knitter, Miracle Brush, and those 20 solid gold hits albums is going respectable.
You can only grow so much in that type of business, and we felt that the potential growth of the company really fell in the development of new artists and their music.
The company has already signed up over 15 acts. The selection covers pop, dance, and jazz. Gary Herbig, backup musician for stars such as Rod Stewart, had a top 10 jazz hit with K-Tel.
I really wanted to do albums and to put my music out for people to enjoy and give them pleasure, you know. And so I just decided to do it finally.
And character actor Jeffrey Lewis, seen here in Clint Eastwood's Any Which Way You Can, and the upcoming Pink Cadillac, signed up with his storytelling group, Celestial Navigations.
All right, all you guys move in here. Everybody move in here.
Some people make songs, some people make paintings, and we do stories highlighted and colored with the music.
Even though people laugh at the old ads, K-Tel sees its image as an asset for up-and-coming performers.
K-Tel's always been a marketing company. It really didn't have to do with the product, but they knew how to market things.
From being the straightest kind of unhip record company, that turned into a very progressive record company.
If all goes to plan, the sounds of sweet success for K-Tel will be from musicians instead of fishin' magicians.
$6.99 from K-Tel.
Right, Leeza, K-Tel. Well, K-Tel's going to go fishing for its next chart success with a remake of Smokey Robinson and the Miracles hit, I Second That Emotion, but they're going to use the group 10dB.
Well, it's a great song, whoever does it. Don't you move a muscle. We're taking you front row center on Broadway when we come back.